What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Aeron Nix from the Wrestle Plug. I am the main host of Wrestle Plug. Welcome to some exclusive YouTube content. This is different, isn't it? Normally we cut things from the podcast and throw them on, but we've decided that we're really going to focus hard on YouTube. So if you're liking this video, be sure to leave a comment below, make sure you subscribe, all that jazz, hit the bell, notifications, all the bells and whistles, and get on board and enjoy the Wrestle Plug and subscribe across all the social media platforms and the podcast itself. Look for Wrestle Plug, it's at Wrestle Plug on social media, it's Wrestle Plug across every single podcasting platform. You can find us very easily. Look for that black and yellow logo. WWE Raw. Whew, man, WWE Raw literally finished just over half an hour ago. And I can't wait to get to bed. It's 3:33 in the morning. Thank you, Daylight Savings, by the way. That saved me an hour at least. Man, I don't want to be, especially on the first, YouTube exclusive review of Raw, which is not going to be that long, ladies and gentlemen. So, don't worry, I'm not going to drag this out and make it too long-winded. But, man, I thought Raw was fucking boring. Really boring. Nothing happened that I really care about. The things I really liked were kind of inconsequential. Let's start with Edge and Orton. That's the best part of Raw for me. That rivalry is fire. That rivalry is money. The emotion. Edge looked fantastic. The fact he just got out of the car, stormed to the ring, kicked the living shit out of MVP after ignoring him originally, calling out Orton. Then he hits an RKO on Randy Orton, who tries to jump in from behind. Money. Money. Everything they've done with Randy Orton and Edge to this point has been phenomenal. And this is a case of when you have two legends who have kind of creative control over what they're doing, they can create money for you. You don't need to micromanage everything. Let them do their thing. Give them the direction. And you can see that in the emotion. The way Edge portrayed himself, the way he looked like he genuinely was going, I'm going to rip your fucking head off. That's how wrestling should be for a lot of us. I don't want to come across all cornet, but ultimately I want to feel like I'm watching almost a real fight. I know it's a soap opera. I know it's predetermined and scripted and fake, or whatever word you want to use to describe wrestling. People get butthurt about the use of the word fake, but ultimately, as somebody who trains to be a wrestler, as somebody who knows many, many wrestlers, a lot of them will tell you it's fake in the sense of what it is, but the actual physicality is not. But it's not criminal to use that word, so calm the fuck down. But I want it to feel real. I do. And Edge and Randy Orton feels almost real, as does Shayna Baszler. But I don't get that sense from Becky Lynch, and I think that's where I'm disconnected from Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch opened the show, cut this good promo. Well, I say good, I use that term loosely. I thought it was pretty poor. A lot of people loved it. Crowd responded, so that means that either I'm in the wrong or it's just not my cup of tea. But I thought Becky Lynch warbled on, took some stupid little cheap shots, and said that, you've got the charisma of a black hole, when ultimately she's not the most charismatic soul. And I know a lot of Becky Lynch fans are going to be like, oh, how dare you fucking speak about Becky Lynch that way. It's getting boring now. It's the same stuff over and over and over. I actually preferred steampunk Becky Lynch. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I just liked her more. She felt more relatable. You can't come out week after week with ridiculous things like the Huggy Bear jacket like she had on last week with the stupid shades and a funny hat. She had a leather jacket that had the goat on it, greatest of all time. Act as if you are, above everybody. You come out week after week and slag off the rest. Oh, I run this women's division. Nobody can touch me. I'm basically untouchable, etc., etc. Then in your promo with Wrestlemania around the corner, you talk about how, Shayna Baszler's a killer, she's a cage fighter. I'm just like every one of you, I'm normal. That's fucking ridiculous. You've just spent literally God knows how many months telling us that you're not normal, that you're better than everybody else. It doesn't matter how you got there. Ultimately, you're saying that you are the best, that you are above everybody else, that you are the man, that you are, you transcend genders and wrestling and fighting and combat, all in all. And yet you're going to now play the I'm just like you guys card. No. Absolutely not. You're not like us guys. And it's disingenuous. And I thought because of that, it really hurt the promo even more. It doesn't work for me. It really doesn't. But it was a talking point, as was Edge and Orton. Everything else on Raw was a bit tedious. AJ Styles called out The Undertaker. I'm going to drop a video soon. But I say video, they're kind of like podcast videos. You know how it is. And I'm going to be dropping my opinions on that rivalry pretty soon, so you'll be able to check that out on the channel as well. It's also available on our latest podcast, which you can obviously subscribe to everywhere, as I've already said. AJ Styles versus The Undertaker, it is what it is, and him digging up The Undertaker's wife, Michelle McCool, that fell flat. I think the idea was that everyone was going to be like, oh shit, you don't go after another man's wife. Yeah, but we've already got Orton and Edge and Beth Phoenix doing it the right way. And here you are going, yeah, Michelle McCool's a terrible person, and she's making him wrestle because he's really, really old. Yeah, but he just whooped your ass twice. None of these storylines make sense. The content in them doesn't make sense. I don't understand why AJ Styles is talking about his wife. That's how weak this rivalry is, and that's how fucking pointless it is bringing The Undertaker back year after year like you're doing. Because you get this, your wife's a bit of a dickhead, mate. Let's have a fight at WrestleMania. Oh, thanks, great. Pointless. Waste of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson as well. Genuinely two of the funniest people and the most entertaining people WWE have. Wasted. Just these useless lackeys. And even in that role they seem entertaining, but it's just such a waste of great talents and great opportunities. Aleister Black's reward for meeting AJ Styles is a rivalry with Seth Rollins. Whoopee. Don't get me wrong, match was great, and the ensuing tag team match, which by the way had Teddy Long written all over it, holla holla, it was great from a wrestling standpoint, and it was relatively entertaining, but it's not going anywhere. It's another pointless rivalry, and it feels like they've got all these great mid-card wrestlers, Seth Rollins, Murphy, not Buddy Murphy, which is just a fucking joke in itself, AOP, mid-card tag team, Street Profits, great tag team champions, absolutely very entertaining, but they feel like mid-carders. Very entertaining, but they still feel like mid-carders. I feel like Montez Ford is the one guy who has the upside out of all of these people. Kevin Owens, Viking Raiders, just a massive schmoz of mid-carders. Like, yeah, you'll get in there. Fucking force them all into that room. Go get out there and give us a main event. Vince McMahon's like, just get all those flappy bastards out there. It's just... I don't care. I've seen it so many times. Seth Rollins' faction is terrible, by the way. The gimmick is a watered-down version of CM Punk for me. But there are some good things, don't get me wrong. I'm really excited about all the women's matches going into WrestleMania. I'm really excited about Drew versus Brock. That stuff's great. That feels simple, but real. It's going to be two horses, meaty horses, kicking the shite out of each other. I'm all for that. But for overall content and for overall entertainment value, this Raw was pretty poor. Give it a 4 out of 10. Give it the old Bret Hart 4 out of 10. There was nothing here to get my teeth into outside of Edge and Orton, and a little sprinkling of main event stuff from Becky Lynch, Shayna, and AJ Styles. But other than that, it's just nothing. It's way too many mid-carders. It's really funny because I think Raw's been better than SmackDown for quite a while now, but SmackDown's got infinitely more interesting stars and characters. I will say one thing, as a side quickly, before we get out of here. Kabuki Warriors are so entertaining. And what does that say about the product? That the two people who aren't even speaking English for the majority of their promos are still far more entertaining and still more understandable and emotional as characters than the rest of your roster. Come on. I love the Kabuki Warriors. Couldn't care less about the Riot Squad breakup as well. And I like all three of those women. I think they've all got great upside, great potential. But I don't care about the rivalry. It's just, are you really going to have that as a triple threat at WrestleMania? Probably not. It's probably going to end up being the Kabuki Warriors defending their tag team championships against insert whatever combination of tag teams they can find to throw in there. It just feels so lackluster. And actually, I thought Elimination Chamber was phenomenal, and I was really jazzed for Raw tonight. I thought, they made gold out of the Elimination Chamber. Let's see what they can do with Raw. And they kind of flattered to deceive. They just threw so much at us, but nothing that really meant anything. And that's kind of what really summed up Raw. There was just so much there, but nothing really meant anything. There was no real content. Yeah, this was like... if I could use an analogy, this was like going to a very cheap all-you-can-eat buffet, and there was loads of things you can have, but ultimately there was only one or two things that really tasted like they belong there, and the rest of it is just fat and grease and trimmings and carbs that you don't need. And that really, ladies and gentlemen, is what Raw felt like and what Raw has been like for some time. That being said, I am going to continue to drop these cheeky little reviews after every show, so if you do like them for whatever reason, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share it with everybody, share the link if you can, but most importantly, just subscribe, hit that notifications button, and let us know what you think, and get involved as well. Make sure you leave some comments below so we can talk about them on the next shows. Every recording, we make sure that we interact with fans. If for any of you who are already on board with a podcast, you know that we are one of the most interactive podcasts going. We're regularly bringing in guests from the wrestling world, guests from outside the wrestling world, celebrities, you name it. We try and get them on here, but most importantly, we put you guys first. We really do. And I hope that this YouTube channel will just give you guys another level of enjoyment, and hopefully bring on board some new fantastic and wonderful fans, because the wrestling world is so much fun when everybody has a good time and enjoys it together and loathes it together and just gets involved and interacts. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this video.